Okay, right. Hello, Internet. This is the introduction to what is going to be sort of like a new start for me. So, I don't know if anyone remembers me, but I have done gaming videos in the past. I will leave a link to the channel that I used to be on down in the description if no one recognises me. If you do, then I'm Dan Fox Games, and this is my channel, my new one. And rather than doing like an introduction that other people would do, saying things like, you know, I started this channel because blah 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 blah, or starting it off by doing and playing some games, I thought I would dedicate it to actually what made it possible, this channel, because I don't know if you've gone and looked at those videos already down in the description on that channel, then you will know that my computer wasn't very good when it started off, and when I started recording for YouTube. It was an HB Pavilion P6 2310EA, and that had specs such as A4 quad-core processor, 4GB of RAM, and HD Radeon graphics integrated into the processor. And for gaming, that's not very good. For browsing the internet and things like that, that's fine. But that's not what I wanted to use it for. I wanted to use it for gaming. And over the... just a second, I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee actually. And over the past couple of years I've had it, because I've had this computer since 2012. Yeah, Christmas 2012, that's when I got this computer in December. I've been upgrading it, so I've upgraded the processor, which I'll do a separate video on. I've given it more RAM, and that's just the most pointless video ever, so I won't do a video on that. And obviously I've put a graphics card in it. Now, this is also sort of like a video for anyone who's wondering what kind of graphics card to get when they start off PC gaming. So, the one that I chose was this. This is the MSI GeForce GTX 750 Ti. It is a single fan graphics card, but when you're starting off, that's all you need. You don't need anything too hectic. Now, this is a 2GB graphics card, 2GB of GDDR5 RAM. It runs in a PCI Express 3.0 lane, so that's 128-bit bus size, and it runs on DirectX 11, so it is very good. And this is the overclocked edition. Now, I picked this up on a website called eBuyer. I would recommend, this isn't a sponsored video, but I would recommend it to anyone wanting to get graphics cards or processors or RAM or anything related to computers. eBuyer is a brilliant web. Actually, I'll show you how brilliant they are, because when I actually ordered my processor, they gave me, so there you go, look, there's the URL, a free copy of the game Thief. I'm still trying to figure out how it works, so you can see there the thing. Congratulations on the purchase of your AMD product. Yeah, there's a spoiler for you. I do have an AMD processor. Now, back to the graphics card. Picked this up for a mere £100 while it was on a sale. And there's always sales going on that website, so there will always be graphics cards on sale, so always keep your eye out for something if it's better than this. Now, this one I only got for £100, and that is a real bargain for what it can do, because this graphics card is brilliantly powerful. Now, working with my processor and the amount of RAM that I have, so I'll just tell you that my processor is an AMD A10 6800K quad-core processor, and it's the black edition that I have, so it's overclocked as well. Everything I have in my computer is overclocked. It clocked in at a total of 4.4 gigahertz. Now, that is very powerful. For anyone who doesn't know, that is that's one of the most powerful FM2 socketed AMD processors. Moving away from Intel, because I have an Intel, no, I have an AMD processor. Now, back to the graphics card. Something I'd like to mention as well: when you're buying your graphics card, you want to check everything inside your computer first. So you want to check your power supply, and you also want to check your motherboard, because you don't want to go out and buy a graphics card that's power consumption is too big for your system. Now, I went ahead firsthand and checked the power supply that HP had given me in my computer, and it was enough. Now it recommends a minimum of 400 watts or greater. Now I think mine is a 400 watt power supply, so that's something to note. Now also PCI Express 3, moving on to that, that doesn't particularly matter if you have a PCI Express 2, because they almost run in parallel. So a PCI Express 1 would be similar to a PCI Express 2, and a PCI Express 2 would be similar to a PCI Express 3. But in that order, PCI Express 1 is not similar to a PCI Express 3. They go in order. So this is a PCI Express 3 graphics card, and it's fit onto my motherboard, which runs a PCI Express 2 bus. And that, from what I can tell, has given me no problems. The games run fine, there's no performance cons or anything, it's absolutely fine. And also, a lot of people will say, you know, you're going to need power for it, obviously, because it's a graphics card. Now, most graphics card would have a 6-pin or an 8-pin, or a 6 and an 8-pin PCI input, power input, into the top of it to power the fans. Now, this one, because this one is brilliant, doesn't have that. This has one fan, and it takes all the power it needs to power the fan from the motherboard, because obviously there's power going to the motherboard. And the fan only comes on when the graphics card gets over 80 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit, I don't know what that is. But 80 degrees Celsius, that is very good. And because it's overclocked, it's nice and quick as well. So this graphics card, so I'll do some examples. So if you want to see how well this graphics card runs games, then go and look at some of my gaming videos, which I will probably have uploaded by now. So I'll have probably some stuff like Grand Theft Auto 5 and things like that. So go and see how it runs those, because this runs Grand Theft Auto 5 on very high settings at a very reasonable 40 FPS, round about there. So this is very good. Overclocked edition obviously means more powerful. So I will just open up the box now and see what we get inside it. So obviously you've got the tray that you get the graphics card in, and the anti-static bag that it came in. Obviously not going to be in there because it's in my computer. And then you get the things that are in the bottom of it. So you'll get two things underneath the tray. You'll get because this is an MSI graphics card, I have the MSI graphics card, quick user guide, and this tells you all the things that you'll need to know. So there's things on the back as well. So things like, oh no, this is this is just more languages. So it's loads of languages. So it contains, so talking about the package contents, system requirements for it. So this requires Windows 8, for example, and at least 4 gigabytes of video, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Auxiliary tool, so that's, you know, just installing it, and the installation of the product itself, and that comes in all your different languages. So English, German, French, Spanish, Turkish, Italian, whatever you want, and that's all in there. So that's the